If the Lakers want to get better, they're going to trade Austin Reaves. I'm 100% for the acquisition of DeAndre Ayton. Go back and look at my videos. I got a video stating explicitly, at least a couple of weeks ago, saying that DeAndre Ayton would be fantastic with the Lakers. But that's another topic. If the Lakers want to get better, significantly better, right? Now, let's get something straight too. When we say better, define that. Put some context on that. The Lakers have the potential, if they get DeAndre Ayton, to be a championship caliber team if they trade Austin Reaves for the right player or players, right? That's where the significant improvement is going to come from. And that's what LeBron James was talking about. You see, Rob Pelinka keeps trying to make moves to appease the talking heads, who will in turn appease the fan base, right? The fan base is getting all their narratives, hearing all their narratives from the talking heads. You know, and that's why last year when the Lakers got Dorian Finney-Smith, I scoffed. I was like, you guys got to be fucking kidding me. The talking heads been talking about Dorian Finney-Smith for years. At least 2 years they've been yelling Dorian Finney-Smith, right? Thinking, oh, we add a 3-and-D wing. That's what they keep throwing out there, adding a 3-and-D wing. You know, Dorian Finney-Smith averaged 9 points in the regular season and 7 points in the postseason last year. Give me a break. Are we better with Dorian Finney-Smith? Yes, we are. But again, define better, right? Is the point to be better, or is the point to hit championship caliber status? Dorian Finney-Smith was not moving us into championship caliber status. I knew that shit before the trade was made. And then, to think about it, we traded 3 second-rounders. Yesterday, in a video I made, I said I thought it was 2. No, we traded 3 second-rounders and D'Angelo Russell for a player that is now not on our roster. Think about that. Rob Pelinka once again threw assets, draft assets, at a player who is not on our roster at this moment, and in my opinion, won't be on our roster at the beginning of the year. And that's been his MO. That's how Rob Pelinka moves, right? Rob Pelinka doesn't want to trade what we know, right? You see, a second round pick sounds trivial. It sounds frivolous, especially when you package them in the form of 3, right? It sounds like, we could just do away with that. No, those are all assets. What Rob Pelinka does not want to do is trade a player that produces 20 points per game, 6 assists per game. He doesn't want to trade that player. Additionally, that player has sentimental value to the Laker fan base. That's what he does not want to do. That's what LeBron James is telling you has to be done. That's what he said yesterday. When Rich Paul put that statement out, that's what he said. He said, hey, look, man, you guys want to make easy decisions. You guys want to make decisions that will appease the fan base. You guys want to make decisions that make it look like you did something. Stop bullshitting. Right? DeAndre Ayton is a no-brainer. Again, go back and look at my video. I speak why he'd be fantastic with the Lakers. He is not incompetent offensively, and he could be very good defensively. I've seen him do it. He's only 26 years old. It's a no-brainer. He is a step above Nick Claxton and Daniel Gafford, even though the talking heads keep spouting Nick Claxton and Daniel Gafford. And they keep shitting on the idea of getting DeAndre Ayton. Well, look, you don't have to give up an asset for DeAndre Ayton. Rob Pelinka, this is right in your wheelhouse. All you got to do is throw money at him, and no one's going to blame you for it. Because Laker fan base don't see any of the money. All we see is the players you acquire. This is right up your wheelhouse. Go get DeAndre Ayton. What is not in Rob Pelinka's wheelhouse is giving up a player on the roster who the fans like, who is a productive player, and who, if you make a trade and that shit don't work, you're going to catch hell for it. It's going to fall right on your head. That is what Rob Pelinka does not want to touch. He does not want to deal with that. Fact of the matter is, and again, LeBron James was 100% right, the Lakers need to trade Austin Reaves. If you're serious about getting better, to to the point that you're a championship caliber team, you will trade Austin Reaves. If you add DeAndre Ayton to this roster and you trade Austin Reaves, let's say for Jalen Green, the Lakers have gotten immediately better, right? And again, I'm not saying that Austin Reaves for Jalen Green should be the end-all be-all of any deal made. What I'm saying is that a player like Jalen Green is complementary to the roster that we have right now. A lot of you may say, well, how? Right? Well, I'll tell you how. Austin Reaves is not an alpha next to Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic needs another alpha on the court, right? While LeBron James is an alpha, LeBron James is taking a step back in order to let Luka shine. And LeBron James is not always going to be on the court with Luka. When Luka's on the court and LeBron James ain't there, Luka is Luka-centric. That's what he is, right? A lot of the stats you see from Luka, they're fantastic. Especially if you just look at the points, rebounds, and assists. They're fantastic. But how do they come about? You know, if a player is holding the ball 15, 18 seconds out of a shot clock, and then that player produces 8, 9 assists a game, that's not impressive to me. That is not impressive. You look at how Tyrese Halliburton acquires his assists. It's two different things from the way Luka acquires his. Two totally different things. Tyrese Halliburton gets assists while getting the entire team involved. Luka gets assists while pounding the air out of the ball for 17 seconds in the shot clock. It's two different things. So when you got a player like that, you either one, and this is what I think the Lakers need to get that we're not talking about, you need a point guard to decide where the plays are going. Luka can't be the point guard. He could change his game potentially. I'm not saying he can't grow and become a better distributor of the basketball. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if JJ Redick is going to allow Luka to play the way Luka's been playing, then the Lakers need a point guard also. Now look, if you decide you don't want to get a point guard and you want to go with Luka, then somebody needs to go talk to JJ Redick and say, hey, look, man, you need to have some semblance of an offense. Right? Luka pounding the air out of the ball for 17 seconds is not offense. Do we have offensive players? Yeah. Are we going to achieve what those offensive players could provide? Not if you let Luka play the way Luka's been playing. You see, in JJ Redick, what I saw when we acquired Luka is that he does not want to tell Luka, yo, man, you got 4 other players on the team. What the fuck? Right? And if you can't say that to Luka, then you need to implement an offense that will govern how much Luka could dominate the ball. So anyway, from what I saw, Austin Reaves is not built for that. He's not built for the way Luka plays and the way Luka is allowed to play and the offense that surrounds Luka Doncic. He ain't built for it. Great players are going to get their numbers. Right? When I say great, I mean LeBron's, Dwayne Wade, now you could say a Wemby, a Nikola Jokic. They're going to get their numbers, right? What we need is a player that's going to get his numbers, and regardless of how Luka Doncic plays, that's what we need. And Jalen Green is built in such. Look, I get it. The way Jalen Green plays, a lot of people might say that he is not a winning player. I get that, right? But to say that there's not a place for a guy like that is wrong. There is a place for a guy like that. And in my opinion, if Jalen Green goes out and he plays the way he plays next to Luka, in time, Luka will appreciate that. And I think LeBron would appreciate that immediately. Furthermore, just look at it from a Phoenix perspective, right? Phoenix does not need a guy to get in that switching shot type mode. What I mean is, okay, it's my turn, it's your turn, it's my turn, it's your turn, right? They need a guy who understands the game, has a broader game, actually has a B-type personality. He's not an alpha. You know what I mean? He's a beta, right? Well, being a beta on the Lakers right now, with LeBron and especially with Luka on the roster, is not effective. The Lakers don't need another beta. They need an alpha who is going to get his irregardless of the way Luka is playing. They need an alpha with a little bit of common sense. That's all they need. And again, you look at Rob Pelinka, and the way Rob Pelinka moves, he does not want to carry the burden of trading Austin Reaves. Because if that ends up wrong, it's on him. Is he willing to throw draft picks at? The dude's been frivolous in how he's wasted our draft picks. We know he's willing to throw draft picks at players in order to get players. We know that. We know he's willing to spend money if it fits within the cap, right? If it's going to cost the Lakers a bunch of tax money, he doesn't want to do it. He goes over the cap and it's going to cost the Lakers something, he doesn't want to do it, you know? But if it's not going to cost the Lakers anything, he's down. We know that if the Lakers don't re-sign Dorian Finney-Smith, he'd be willing to throw $15 million at DeAndre Ayton. That's easy. The spending part is easy. It's the culpability part that Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss want no part of, right? But think about this. By the time the Lakers traded D'Angelo Russell, the drumbeat from Laker Nation to get his ass out of here was so loud that Rob Pelinka couldn't lose in the court of public opinion. That's what Rob Pelinka's worried about. He's worried about his image in the court of public opinion. He's worried about self-preservation of Rob Pelinka. That's what he's worried about. And what LeBron is saying is, in my opinion, I'm just telling you in my opinion, right? And I'm interpreting what I think he's saying politely, stating, yo man, get over yourself, right? Be about winning and get over yourself. Go make the move that puts this team over. If the Lakers get DeAndre Ayton, they've improved their team exponentially, right? Now, there's a caveat to that, right? I'll make a video about it. But if the Lakers get DeAndre Ayton, I feel that they've improved their standing exponentially. If the Lakers get off of Austin Reaves and go find a player or players that better complement who is on this team already and who is not going anywhere. Luka ain't going anywhere. LeBron James might be going somewhere, but LeBron James could play with anyone. Luka can't. You get an Austin Reaves on your team and you got Luka there, you might as well just go ahead and drop Austin Reaves' numbers. You know? If Austin Reaves was a 20-point per game player, just consider him a 15-point per game player now. You need someone who doesn't give a shit. Jalen Green don't give a shit. Right? And I'm not saying it got to be Jalen Green. It could be somebody else. You know? It's just that you have to... I use him as an example because to me, he is the ideal type player that you have to put next to Luka Doncic. Right? Furthermore, he got mad upside. You see, I don't give a shit what Austin Reaves has improved to up to this point. I am hesitant to say he got more upside. I think his upside is what it is. Right now, 20 points per game. How I saw him play last year is about what I expect for the rest of his career. Until he hits the downside of his career. That's what I expect from Austin Reaves. You know? So, yeah, man, that's what this video was about. You know, we keep seeing Rob Pelinka do shit that sends out assets either in the form of draft picks or money. That's all the dude's been good for. You know, if the court of public opinion is against something, you don't see him bucking that. You see him staying in the narratives. For example, Dalton Connect, he could be thrown into every trade. Because he's useless. You know what I mean? He obviously has some value because he showed it last year. But we're going to establish a narrative in which Dalton Connect is useless. And then now we could throw him in every trade. And when we trade him, it's not my fault anymore. Because the narrative from the talking heads and from the fans are, yo, we could throw him in any trade. It don't matter. You know? Forget the fact that the dude showed his kicked ass at certain points last year as a rookie. We've established that narrative. We did our job. Now we could dump his ass whenever we want. That's where Rob Pelinka is comfortable. Right? Rob Pelinka is comfortable trading D'Angelo Russell. Right? He's comfortable throwing out draft picks like they're candy. Like it's nothing. That's where he's comfortable. In order to trade Austin Reaves, he's going to have to come out of his comfort space and do something that's going to, one, piss off a lot of Laker fans. And I get it. The dude came up in our system. I get it. It's going to piss off a lot of Laker fans. And you don't know if it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, who does that fall on? Right? I heard somebody just the other day call into Trevor Lane's show and say, "Oh, it was LeBron James. He wanted Russell Westbrook." Well, where does the buck stop? LeBron James can't make that trade happen. We got a whole freaking general manager and president of basketball operations who got mad power in the Laker organization, but you want to put it on LeBron James. You know? No. If LeBron James wanted Russell Westbrook, so the fuck what? So what? He can't make that happen. That falls on the general manager. That's the general manager's job. I don't give a shit what LeBron James wants. That's the general manager's job. Own your shit. And what you don't realize is that when you put that on LeBron James, you're just encouraging Rob Pelinka to sit on his ass more. And to give away our future in the form of draft picks, right? You're encouraging him to give away our future so that LeBron James could take the brunt of the blame for everything bad. That's what you're doing. That trade is not on LeBron James. It's not on Anthony Davis. It's on the man who has the potential to make the trade. That's who it's on. And what LeBron is saying now is, yo, make the trade to make this team a championship contending team. You've had 2 of the top 15 players in the NBA on your team for the last 6 years. The fuck have you done with it? That's what LeBron James is saying. And he's saying it rightfully so. He's 100% correct in that. I don't know who to blame for this, right? Because, you know, is it Rob Pelinka or is it Laker Nation? Is it Rob Pelinka or is it Laker Nation? Because I'm telling you, Rob Pelinka is reading what Laker Nation is saying and he's going with it. And as long as he goes with Laker Nation, they won't go against Rob Pelinka, right? Because no one likes to admit that they're wrong. You may do it, but you don't like to admit you're wrong. You want to be right. You want to believe your basketball knowledge is such that when you wanted this or wanted that, it was the right thing to do. Let me tell you guys something. Dorian Finney-Smith was a move on the margins for stupid-ass fans. That's what he was. A move on the margins for simple-minded fans. For fans who say, oh, the whole league is going 3-and-D. Everybody wants a 3-and-D wing. Everybody likes wing players. Yo, man, who's the wing player? Who is the wing player you're talking about? Do we like wing players if it's Trey Murphy the third? Fuck yeah. Do we like wing players if it's Dorian Finney-Smith? Oh, maybe. I mean, he's alright. You know what I mean? Do we like wing players if it's Dalton Connect? Apparently not. You see what I'm saying? I love Dalton Connect. I think Dalton Connect next year will be as good as Austin Reaves is. If he gets the opportunity. But you don't. You see what I'm saying? So Rob Pelinka, man, our issue is Rob Pelinka, man. Yeah, I'm saying this video is going to be, if the Lakers want to get better, they'll trade Austin Reaves. That's going to be the name of this video, right? But really, what I'm saying, I got no beef with Austin Reaves. I got a beef with Rob Pelinka. Anyway, y'all, please like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.